Okay, so today's assignment is doing the class practice, both 105A and then the backside 105B. And I will walk through 105A with you, so make sure you have that out and are following along. Remember, at any point, if you're feeling like rushed or that you're not quite sure about something, I want you to pause it, rewind it, go back, check it again, and make sure that you really understand what we're talking about. And of course, if you have any questions, always reach out to me. Okay, so number 1. Jalisha bought 2 bookmarks and a folder at the school store. How much did she spend? So I want to make sure that I underline the question, spend, and I know I can make that assumption that spend is in money. So I want to make sure that my answer is going to be in money. Okay, so 2 bookmarks and a folder. When I see that word a, what number can I associate that with? 1, okay? So I'm going to put 1 right above that so that tells my brain we're working with 1. That gives a number to it. Okay, so I see here we have folder, marker, and bookmark. And so what am I going to really need to focus on? Let's see, I have 2 bookmarks. I'm going to circle bookmark. And I have 1 folder. Okay. So Jalisha bought 2 bookmarks and 1 folder. So a bookmark costs 10 cents. So how much would 2 bookmarks cost? 20 cents. So I'm going to start with that, 20 cents. And you know what? I'm going to write 20 cents above here because if I go back and check, I want to know where those numbers are coming from. Okay, so because it was 10 cents, there were 2, that makes it 20 cents. And I'm adding these numbers together because I want to know how much she spent all together. So 1 folder is 45 cents, so I'm going to add that 45 cents. Now, you have a choice right now. If you feel confident in adding a multiple of 10 to a 2-digit number, if you feel confident in that, then you can do that with mental computation. If it is easier for you to write your algorithm out and solve it that way, do that. Do whatever works best for you. Okay, so that is 65 cents. Okay, and I got that. Like I said, if you can figure it out doing your algorithm, I just know our 0 is going to have the 1 stay the same. So I just add my 2 tens spots together. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, so then I rewrite my answer, 65 cents. And then what will be the change from $1? So when I think about 65 cents, I know if I were to round it, I would round to 70 cents. And I know 70 plus 30 equals 100 or $1. So I went down 5, right? This is 5 less. So that means this one has to be 5 more. So my change would be 35 cents. And let me know how you're feeling on making that change. If that's something that's still confusing you, let me know. We'll do a one-on-one session and I can walk through that with you. Okay, write 6,250 in expanded form. So I'm going to start with my biggest number. What is the 6 representing? 6,000. Don't forget your comma. Plus, what does my 2 represent? 200. Plus, what does my 5 represent? 50. And because I have a 0, do I need to represent my 1s? No, I do not. Okay, now write 258,609 using digits. So here's my thousands. So that's going to be a comma, right? So 258. I'm going to write that out first. 258. And then it says thousand. So what do I need to put? A comma. Then 609. 609. Okay, 258,609. Sorry, I'm bouncing a little bit on my camera today. Okay, circle the letters that have parallel line segments. Now remember, parallel lines never touch. So I can see here my F, these two lines have parallel lines. I'm going to circle that. L has two lines and they intersect right here. So I know that that is not going to have any parallel lines. N has two parallel lines right here. And X only has two lines and they intersect right here. So I know that that one is incorrect. Okay, so we're going to circle F and N there. Okay. Now, if we're confused on how to write some of these words, because we're going to write them on a check, I want you to use your math folder. Remember, it's right on the inside on the left-hand side. Write $35,210.63 like you would on a check. You see that it has its dollars here. So remember, we write it as a regular number, and with this comma, we write that word thousand. So 30-5,000, comma, 210, and then we do our change. Remember that's a fraction out of 100. There's 100 cents in a dollar, so we're saying how many pennies out of a dollar are we going to give? And we're going to give 63 out of 100. So, sorry, I had a little error. If this was a pencil, I would erase, but it's a pen, so that's an RTY dash 5,210 and 63 cents. Okay. All right, use the bar graph to answer the questions. So first I'm going to read through the questions, then I'm going to keep an eye on my bar graph. How many children have blue eyes? How many children are in room 20? How many children do not have brown eyes? And how many more children have brown eyes than have green eyes? So I see the colors here, blue, green, brown, and hazel. I also notice that over here on this axis is a side of a graph, it's not counting by ones, is it? What is it counting by? It's counting by twos. So that's going to be important as we look at our data. So how many children have blue eyes? Let's see, I go up to the last line, I have 6. It is halfway between 6 and 8, which would be 7. Okay, how many children are there in room 20? How would I find that information out? I'm going to have to add all these numbers up, aren't I? So I know that blue is 7. And let's see, I'm going to write those below. Okay, green is right at 4. Okay, brown, I'm going to go up. It's in between 8 and 10, which would be 9. And hazel is in between 0 and 2. So what number would that be? 1. Now, for me, I'm going to make them an algorithm that sometimes is easier for me to see when I have multiple numbers that I'm adding up. Okay, are there any of these numbers that we can pair up? Yep, this 9 and 1 equals 10, right? We're going to cross those out with our arrow, so we know we're doing 10. And then 7 and 4 is 11. Okay, I'm going to circle those so I know that's what I'm adding. 11 plus 10 is 21. How many children do not have brown eyes? So I have 21 students and 9 have brown eyes. What kind of problem is that? That is a subtraction problem. So 21 minus 9. Okay, So I'm going to need to borrow here. 11 minus 9 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. So 12 students. 12 students do not have brown eyes. How many more children have brown eyes than have green eyes? I'm going to compare these two. I'm going to match up and circle. Partner, partner, circle. And I want to make sure I know that these are counting by 2. So I have 2, 4, and one more would make it 5. Now I can also look at the difference here, and I could do 9 minus 4, which would equal 5 as well. There's so many ways to solve a math problem. Do the one that makes the most sense to you. Okay, fill in those missing numbers. Let's talk about rounding again. 32 would round to 30. 30 plus 70 is 100. So this is 2 more, so what's 2 less than 70? 68. So 32 plus 68 equals 100. Blank plus 49 equals 100. What would you round 49 to? 50. So that's 50 plus 50. This is 1 less, so this needs to be 1 more. 51. Okay. Now, so this is looking at our commutative properties of multiplication. So 3 times what is the same thing as 5 times 3? Commutative property be 5, right? We know that those switch. They're equal to each other. 7 times 3 is equal to blank times 7. 3 times 7. Okay. 23 plus 48 is equal to 48 plus 23. That's a commutative property of addition. And 17 plus blank equals 56 plus 17. 56. Okay. All right. So that is our fact practice 105A. I want you to be doing 105B on your own. Today, let me know if you have any questions.